review for My Hero Academia Season 2, Episode 20. And this episode just gave us a lot of good stuff. Like, a lot of information was dropped and a lot of just great moments, honestly, in this episode. I think I'm just going to start right off the bat by talking about the whole backstory and the reveal of One for All and All for One. And it's... The thing about it is, it's actually... When you really, like, even though it was told in a very dark setting, but very, very gloomy atmosphere, it's actually kind of hilarious when you think about it, like, how overconfidence can really be one's downfall. Like, All for One was so fucking sure he could twist and corrupt his brother's justice into villainy if he just gave him a quirk, because it was the younger brother who had a strong sense of justice, but he felt so weak at not being able to do anything because he was so sickly and ill that it's just funny how it's funny how All for One thought he could use those beliefs and he could twist those beliefs if you just gave him a quirk, but he just overlooked how strong his brother's ideals were. And that one miscalculation has pretty much been his biggest mistake for 7 to 8 generations of One for All users, like all the way up to All Might. Like, well, the quirk he gave his brother has been nothing but a thorn in his side ever for 7 to 8 generations of One for All users, right up to All Might. And it's, although I definitely have to give, although I do gotta give him. I do gotta give All for One credit. It seems that from what we saw of the little interaction we saw of him touching the screen with shake Rocky on it, I think it's safe to assume that All for One has learned from his previous mistakes in a way. Like he does learn that he alone isn't strong enough to. In a way, I think it's keeping with the message of passing your power on, passing your ideals on of this series. And All for One, I think, has finally learned that with all these One for All users, maybe it's time he passes his ideals and his beliefs on to another. And he has chosen our favorite man-child of a villain, Shigaraki is his successor now. So yeah, there's that too. And yeah, just seeing this backstory animated was kind of fun. Although there are definitely some problems I do need to bring up with the backstory. It's not with the backstory itself, I guess. Like maybe there is one problem with the backstory itself I have, but with the animation on the backstory. My main problem I think with how the backstory was done in this episode is that it was, for the most part, done using all still images over actually animating like the motion of certain things, like All for One's hand and whatnot. Like I feel there could have been more use of actual animation rather than still images in this particular instance, because I feel that would have gotten a lot more investment from me. And don't get me wrong, the backstory in itself did have me invested. I just feel I could have been more invested if there was a lot more motion to it, I guess you could say. But yeah, It is what it is. I guess it's a cheap way of Bones' way of trying to save on their budget, I guess, or something like that, in order for the bigger moments, I guess. But I don't know. I mean, this was a big moment, but yeah, I think Bones just kind of is trying to pick and choose their moments, I think. But yeah, and. I guess one other problem I have with the backstory itself is it seems a little convenient in order for All for One to be alive using a I guess an eternal life quirk or something like that. But it is what it is. Like I guess there wasn't really any other way that someone like All for One could really survive in the very beginning of it all. And It is kind of funny. I think I may have predicted this on one of my reviews too, but it is kind of funny how in the beginning, even before quirks were legalized and whatnot, how basically the emergence of these quirks and how the emergence of these quirks did cause a lot of civil unrest, exactly like X-Men. So it did play out a lot like in the beginning of this whole quirk thing. It it did kind of play out a lot like X-Men, and All for One was leading the charge of it all. But yeah. Um, and just one more amazing thing about that backstory, honestly, is that it like I've read the manga, so I won't say much more for anime only watchers. But let's just say, like when after the whole backstory is revealed and whatnot, and All Might is trying to talk to Izuku about something, like again, I won't say much more, but let's just say it's actually amazing how, as someone who's read the manga, I can't believe how many amazing foreshadowing, how many amazing moments were actually foreshadowed in this one episode. Like, yeah, let's just say if you guys are having a lot of bittersweet feelings about what might happen, about and predictions about what might happen to All Might, let's just say trust those feelings, guys. It's gonna be insane. Um, but I do gotta but okay, I did have problems with the backstory, of course, but I did have problems with the backstory and how it was animated, of course. But on the plus side of that, the artistic level of detail put into All for One's reveal, but both in the backstory and when he was actually actually revealed with his face all fucked, with his face all like damaged and whatnot, and seeing him hooked up to the seeing him hooked up to the life support machine and whatnot. That was actually kind of amazing. That reveal was really well done. I really got to give the animators a bonus props for that. Like they just animated that scene beautifully. But yeah, it's like yeah, it's just an amazing episode. In order that gives a lot of good things about the history of All for One and One for All, and how like it is. I guess it is funny how the creators of My Hero Academia were using this whole we're using this whole we're using this whole I guess the Three Musketeers reference with the two main quirks of the story, All for One and One for All. So yeah, it is funny in that regard. Um, Now the other thing I want to talk about is the rescue training scene. Like even before that, we get a rescue training scene with Class 1A, like with Class 1A back at UA, and them doing a rescue training and whatnot. And we definitely see how far Izuku has become, and Bakugo himself noticed. Um, like like Bakugo himself definitely took notice of Izuku's development, and even though Izuku didn't win, you can still see that Bakugo still sees how far the person he once considered below him has come in such a short time. And I mean, there are going to be people out there who are going to say, "Oh, it's exactly like Naruto and Sasuke," and I would agree, except there's one major difference. We haven't even seen Bakugo's physical development yet. Like the difference between Naruto and Sasuke and Bakugo and Izuku's relationship right now is that with Naruto we were able to see the development of both characters. With Izuku and Bakugo, right now all we've seen is the development of Izuku. We haven't seen the development of Bakugo. Like so we don't know how much stronger if he is how much stronger he is compared to Izuku. Hell, at the end of the day, Bakugo could be stronger than Izuku for all we know, and Bakugo could be stronger than Izuku for all we know, and he could be worrying about nothing, and it's just a pride thing. And therein lies the key difference. We don't know. All we can do is question if it's true or not, because really, when you get down to it, Izuku has only taken the first steps to becoming stronger. He's not a total unbeatable badass. He's unbeatable powerhouse badass or whatever. He does he does of course he does still have his limits. Granted, he has definitely come a short way with this whole thing of him using it was his full cowl ability, developing this full cowl ability, but it isn't perfect either. It does have its flaws. So yeah, I do think that there is definitely room. I think there is definitely room in order to question how strong Izuku and how strong the gap between Izuku and Bakugo are. I don't think it's set in stone how powerful they are, to be honest. How powerful either one of them is compared to the other, to be honest with you. Um, Now the next thing I want to talk about is the preview for the next episode. Now it seems that the next, like the last 5 episodes, if I'm getting this correctly, are going to be about the I think it's the end. I think it was called the end of term test arc. It's the arc where all the UA students end up going against, end up fighting the teachers in order to know as to whether or not they end up passing or failing the course for just this one term. And like I do like how the next couple of episodes they're going to be focusing on a lot more of the school element of this particular of this of the school element of the particular story, because we have to remember that at the end of the day, the focus is meant to be on the school that even though they're heroes, it's meant to be on the focus on the school that these students are going to and how they are students to begin with. So yeah, I do like that. But well, having read the manga, it does make me slightly concerned because we are getting, because if I understand this correctly, we are getting a because if I understand the way it's going correctly, we this particular arc that's coming up was I think it was 10 chapters long, and they're going to be adapting it from 5 chapters. Now that does make me a little concerned for the pacing, just a touch, but I guess the one, I mean the one thing that was, I mean, but at the same time I guess I am kind of optimistic because I was proven wrong with season 1's pacing with only having 13 episodes, and they pulled that off quite spectacularly. I'd say like they managed to adapt like what tons of chapters of like a good chunk of the manga into those 13 episodes. So I do got to give it props for that. And so yeah, it's kind of on the ropes. Like I am worried, but I think they can make it work if they plan it out properly. But yeah, I am. Yeah, I just hope it doesn't. I just hope it doesn't backfire because this is actually an arc where we get to showcase all of the UA students. It's not just Izuku. It's not just Bakugo. It's all of them. And I'm hoping that if they are going to adapt, if they are going to end it on the end of term test arc, then they can adapt it properly with these 5 episodes that remain, because we definitely do get a lot of development with of course we definitely get a lot of development with the other class members on this one, and that is, I feel that is a necessity in a story like this one. Also, I guess I'll end this review off by talking about that locker scene. And what can I say? It's Mineta being fucking Mineta up to his usual shenanigans. Although, I think the funniest part of that for me was Kyoka's reaction. Like, and how worried she was that Mineta didn't even talk about her breast size or anything like that. Like, when I saw that, I was like, you know what, Kyoka? I'd be fucking glad that perverted little gnome didn't talk about you. Because if he finds out, because trust me, once that little perverted gnome finds his prey, our favorite girl, once that little gnome finds his prey, you won't be able to escape. Like, he will have his perverted radar on you 24/7. So just be glad he hasn't noticed you, unlike the others. Like, but even more than that, Mineta, you are a jack. But even more than that, like, Mineta, you are a fucking jackass for mentioning you are a fucking jackass for mentioning a little jackass for mentioning Izuku's wife, Ochiko. Like, seriously, leave Ochiko alone. She is Izuku's, okay? Leave her alone. But yeah. But anyway, guys, yeah, that's pretty much my review. Again, a great episode. We got a lot of good tidbits, and like I said, it actually made me really realize how much was foreshadowed in this one episode. Like I said, guys, for my only viewers, I'd keep your, if you have any problems, or if you have any sour or bittersweet predictions, I'd trust those predictions, guys. But yep, that's my review. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Dead Knight of Anime, signing off. Later, guys.